how do you feel about outlining? Because there's a lot of different ways to write a screenplay. So what's your process like? Do you outline? Do you just write down a bunch of notes and then just kind of go from there?
I write down a bunch of notes and then I outline an annoying amount. My outlines are usually like 30 some pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll basically write it to the point where when I go to write the script, I'm basically copying and pasting the action lines from the outline and just filling in the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's much easier. It's a pain in the ass for somebody to read, but if you send somebody an outline, it's much easier to make notes and adjustments and rewrites and revisions and structural changes, especially in an outline form, than it is to like polish a script, finish it, and then somebody say, oh, well, could we change this, and this, or this needs to be this way. Big structural changes are much easier to adjust and cater to in an outline form. And then you can go write the script. But once the outline is really, and it's tricky because some people like can't read an outline and see like how it would translate to a script or how that would translate to a movie. A lot of people need a script in front of them. But at least in the early phases when it's just me and my reps or something like that, kind of going through a movie, I think the outline process is crucial. But then you have people that say, a lot of people say they just write scripts and see what happens, and that I can't work like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm the opposite where I'm sort of like that, where I don't know what it is about doing an outline, but I'll do an outline and I'm like, I don't know where things go from here. I need to like I need to have the characters set up. I need to have like the location and everything. I need to have like the circumstances right. And then I can figure out what follows from there. Cause like, it's just the natural consequence or just, it's just the following sequence is the consequence of the earlier decision the character made. I don't know how it works for an outline. Like, so an outline, like being 30 or 40 pages, is that just like, is it sort of like in script format? Like, how do you format that?
Some of it'll be bullet points, some of it'll be full paragraphs, some of it'll be like prose, almost like you're reading, kind of like reading a really long Wikipedia synopsis of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically how I do it. It's not something where it's hard to follow or anything like that. It's written almost like a novel, and then I can take that and just kind of translate it to a screenplay format.
Mm-hmm. And then are you figuring out the story and the characters as you're doing that?
In the outline.
In the outline. So
yeah.
Okay, so you're
And
just
then,
like,
a lot of the character will come from the dialogue, and you can have like kind of a clear vision of X character and the outline, but when to the script, it's like you get to know the character more in the script. You might know their circumstances and like where they come from in the outline, but once you see them start speaking and you're like, oh, well, this is how this character talks, you get to know them a little bit better in the screenwriting. But yeah, I have to work from an outline.
Yeah, I should try that because I'm working on a feature film right now, and it has 5 characters. It's like a one location. It has 5 characters in that one location, and it's just a lot to like keep track of. And I'll write a scene, and the scene will go on for like 5 or 6 pages, and I'm like, oh wait, this character who is like right there didn't say anything or do anything when they should be doing
Right.
something, because it's like when we're filming it, it's just gonna look weird because the guy's just standing there for 5 minutes just like watching the conversation continue without him. So I think I
Yeah.
should try that because that's not a great way to do, especially for that kind of a film where it's like so much stuff could go on.
A friend of mine also taught me about beat sheets where you have like you would outline the A storyline, the B storyline, and the C storyline, and everything that happens, every beat that happens in the A storyline, every beat that happens in the C storyline, or the B storyline and the C storyline, and then you kind of see how each one of them play out, like on paper, and then you kind of like overlay them, and you can see, okay, this is A. Okay, well, the B storyline is happening at this point in the A storyline, and the C storyline is happening at this point in the A storyline or B storyline. It's really hard to explain without a visual aid, but
Right.
that actually helps a lot, and that kind of helps certain characters always have something to do on screen.
Yeah.
But it's a very challenging thing to do. I always think of Knives Out. Have you seen Knives Out?
I have, yeah.
Ryan
Yep.
Johnson's movie. Yeah, there are so many scenes with so many characters in one location and in one room even, and everybody has something to do. Like
Mhm.
if you look at Michael Shannon while Daniel Craig's talking, or while Don Johnson's talking, like everybody's doing something, and it's so clever, and it just, like, the beat sheet or whatever his process was for figuring out every storyline in that movie is just, it's incredible.
Yeah.